All right, we're gonna check out lesson 11. So before I continue, I just want to do a quick rant. So I'm learning Illustrator, right? So this only uh, mm, we only learn how to use the software. So we don't know. I'm not an artist. So you saw me practice drawing. If you seen other some of my older videos before I started uploading vlog series on Illustrator. So I don't think I will ever be good at drawing. So the reason I was doing this was because um, well I took a note of all the things that I was supposed to know and remember, but I thought, reading then my going back to my notes and that was not working. So I thought I would make a video. Okay, that's one thing. And another thing is that today is something. So I keep um, tracking how long I study each day. So I never study past, like I never studied 5 hours, like in a streak, right? I mean, today is not like I'm not studied 5 hours today either. So this usually I would just study for like, I usually average like 1 hour, right? So if I can sort of like average 3 to 5, that would be really impressive. So, and usually I don't even study during night. So that's what I'm trying to change. So I would put a lot of effort trying to study during like past 7 or 8. So if I can do that, I could easily study for 3 hours. I could put in 2 hours in the during the day, and I could put in 1 hour during the night. That would make it 3 hours. That would be really huge improvement for me. And with that, we are done with the rant, and I'm gonna continue with the lessons again. So I'm gonna take it really slow. I'm gonna start 10-minute timer and take 3 minutes break. Let's see how long I can keep this up. Okay, so in this lesson we'll be learning about gradients. So there are 3 types of gradients: linear, radial, freeform. So these are the examples. So these like there's a like starting color, and then there's a ending color, and it blends between those colors. And radial gradient, so there's a color in the middle, and it kind of like radiates outward to another color. Freeform color, I don't know, it's kind of like it's sort of messy, sort of really like really freeform. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, now let's see how to apply gradient, linear gradient to an object. So I'm gonna apply linear gradient to this rectangle, this pink shape. So it's selected. I could, sort of do the stuff, go to fill, and you could do what I'm about to show you just like this, but you can also double click it. So you can sort of like enter isolation mode or something, isolated mode. Now it's kind of like, it's more prominent and everything is dimmed out. So to apply gradient, in the properties panel, go to fill, and select a gradient. So we want to select this at the at the it's at the bottom, it's white black, sort of looks like a gradient itself. And now we're gonna go to gradient options. So we want to make sure that the fill is at the top, and that's the thing that's selected. And to change the, so this is the start color of the gradient, this is the end color. So I don't know the exact terms. I'm going to double click it and it will open up this panel. And this is sort of like I believe. So I'm going to go to swatches and select this color, yellow. So you can also use the color picker. Let's see what else we can use. Okay, we can use the spectre. What so in web color, click to correct. So maybe we can open up color picker. Maybe that will also choose it. No. So we're gonna double click it. It doesn't really matter though. We want to just select a color. So there are many ways you can select a color. So I'm not gonna go over that. Alright, next I'll show you how to save the gradient. So this is a gradient panel. I'm gonna close it. So just like how we can like save colors, you can just press this new swatch. So this will just save this gradient, I think. Although it when you look at it, it doesn't look like a gradient, but I do believe it's a gradient. So with that selected, so this is the gradient. So there's another way, like we can press this icon, so swatch kinds menu, and we can show only gradient swatches, and our swatch is not displaying here, which is weird. So all swatches and apply this. Our gradient swatch should be in here, right? Why is that not here? I don't know why that was weird. Now if we go to the what is this? So all swatches, and I sort by, so gradient swatches, it now displays it. So that was really weird. Okay, now we're gonna see how to change the direction of the gradient. So with the gradient panel open, you can use this angle to change the direction. So 0 is left to right, 30 is sort of like angled. I don't know how this angle works, but sort of like you just need to experiment with it. So you can also drag this so that you can like think of it like percentages. So this is 0 and this is 100. So 0 to, I don't know, this is 30, looks like it's gonna be white, and from 30 to 100 it's going to transition from white to yellow. Close it. So that's one way to change the angles. Of course, I used 90 degrees. You can like change, use any other angles. So now let's use the gradient tool to change the angles. So this is the gradient tool. Click it, and now this is something like some disappears. So this is called gradient annotator or something. So this looks similar to the one you saw in the gradient panel. So this button is starting and this is ending circle, and this is square. So this is the starting color, this is the ending color. So these diamond shapes are denote midpoints. So with this tool selected, you can sort of like drag you know drag drag it to sort of like do this, drag around. So this you can drag around to create something like this, right? You can hold shift, that will create something like this, right? You can do this. So only the line, so the colors only between these 2 points will be visible. So at this point there's green, so here it's kind of like dark green. So even though the starting point was green, it doesn't display here. So if we use it, make it short, that green will show up. So I'm gonna just make it like angled. Let's see. So we want to make it like this, sort of like this, all the way at an angle, something like that. I believe we can also double click to change the color. It opens up swatch, and this tint, so color picker is not really great to so maybe like using the color picker right here would be helpful, or you could just it only opens up this swatch panel and this tint panel. Also, what is this? So that's pretty much like tint. So we can create a new swatch. In the swatch panel, let's see, Bruno. Maybe what is this? We can give it this color. We'll double click it. So we're gonna open up the window color and double click this color. Yeah. So we can just open up this color window and then just, so that's just messing around with colors. Anyway, we're gonna undo that. Okay, great. Unnecessary tours. All right, next we're gonna apply gradient to stroke. So this is just a stroke. We can't use the, I believe we can't use the gradient tool. So we're just gonna use the uh, we select the path and we then select the path and choose this gradient. So there are more options in the gradient options, like this gradient panel. So fuck off, man. So anyway, there are like types. Linear gradient, we're gonna leave it like that. And then there's a option for apply gradient within stroke. I don't know why these are like okay, now it's visible. Apply gradient within stroke, and this is, I don't know, along the stroke. So this is across stroke. So this is the one that we want to select. You can choose anything. I'm gonna change this color to something like this one. I don't know why this color is not changed. Okay, I don't know what was happening. My illustrator was buggy. So when I click this button, it was not like selecting these colors. Anyway, now it does. I had to restart it. You can add colors when the cursor changes to plus icon. Okay, that's pretty much it, I guess. You can sort of like experiment with different colors. I mean, look at this one. This looks like this, right? We're gonna choose something really dark. We could probably reverse it. Also, there's an option for the location, right? Select it. You can perfectly, make it in the middle or change it to like this. You can also use the last used gradient for this as well. And then select this and you're done. Okay, next we're gonna check radial gradient. So we're gonna apply radial gradient to this pink shape over here. I'm gonna just select this shape and then I'm gonna copy this linear gradient. We're gonna change the linear gradient to radial gradient. We're gonna go to fill and gradient options. We're gonna change it to radial gradient. So there's a stroke. For this, we could probably, we don't want any strokes. So we got a gradient. We could go to the gradient panel and mess around there, but I'm gonna use the gradient tool. Okay, why is the gradient tool not selected? So if we use the gradient tool, it's not like select, deselect. Okay, so we're gonna go to isolate mode and then maybe why we can't. Okay, that was weird. So when we go to gradient options, if stroke was on top like this, it was selected this, we can't use it. we just want to make this fill was on top, and then we can use the gradient. So there we go. So we got our gradient annotator or whatever. So we can just drag it to, like, notice that like this is the center and this is the end. All right, my bad, this is still linear gradient, so we're not even in radial gradient. So now let's make it that. Then now let's look at this. When we drag around, some circle sort of like shape appears. We're gonna reverse it. Of course, you can like double click on it to select you know, another color. Okay, so there are some buttons, right? So you can sort of like drag this to change the direction. Not really useful, but there is this button when you double click it. So this controls sort of like we can, you know, increase or decrease the size of the circle. And there is this button. You can make the circle elliptical. Let's see if we can drag this. We're gonna okay. Can we drag? So it looks like we can't drag this. So I'm gonna make it like this, and then I'm gonna use this to make it something like this. I'm gonna then rotate it. So we can just rotate it and make it even bigger. It would be really awesome if we could just, yeah, something like that. Okay, now we're gonna see how to apply gradient to multiple objects at the same time. I'm gonna click on this. Well, we want to select these shapes, right? We're gonna select all of these yellow shapes, and we're gonna go to select and save selection, make it bars. So anyway, we're gonna apply the gradient we just created at the beginning. So gradient swatches, and we're gonna choose this. So now every thing has that a gradient. Now it has this annotator. We can then drag around to apply. Maybe we can just select, deselect, and then yeah, drag around, and then choose this to sort of like, and then let's select deselect, select this one, and then dragging like this, or maybe like that. Okay, we're gonna make the gradient transparent. So we want to create something like this, right? This cloud starts at white and ends transparent, and the yellow starts showing. So we're gonna go to the first first artwork, and then select this, and we want to apply this gradient, and then choose we're gonna just go to isolation mode and use this tool. And this is weird, so we're gonna apply it like this. We're gonna double click it, select white, and right, so that's changing the gradient. But we want to apply gradient. With the gradient option, we're gonna change opacity to 0, close it, and then we're gonna probably drag it. We can also drag it like you drag this, make it short. So maybe we want to reverse it. Okay, that works. Maybe just drag it a little. What is this garbage? All right, that kind of creates that shape, which is really weird. So that's not what we expect, so we're gonna do it again. Did it work? So we want to make it like horizontal, and we need to make it a little shorter. Yeah, it's pretty close, I guess. That's it for this video. We're gonna continue tomorrow.